Everybody, welcome to It's Just Bodybuilding, episode 85. Dusty Hanshaw was still alive.
Still here, we're still cranking, and apparently, based on my Instagram, people want to know a lot of shit because we have a lot of questions.
Yeah, I keep meaning like, hey, I'm going to get back to every single one of them, and then I'm like, holy shit. That's a lot of questions.
You're not quite. Yeah, I would never guarantee I'm getting back to every one of them because I'll do like 30 or 40 and just blast them out. I took your lead with the whole video much faster. Obvious.
Yeah. And I think people like it better.
I think it makes them feel good about themselves when they see me for a solid 10 minutes straight. They're like, things could be worse.
Look at that face. Remember, like, share, subscribe, comment, ring the bell. And help us out. You guys are fantastic, and we appreciate all the social media love and spreading the word.
And hate. Huh? I want the hate too.
Yeah.
The hate is good for us.
Yeah, little hate's good. Remember, we're just a couple of dumb bodybuilders.
True. Meatheads 101. Which, by the way, speaking of hate, we had our episode where I had an episode about masks.
Oh yeah.
And I'm pretty sure our governor watched it and was like, fuck it, let's drop the mandate. Dusty doesn't like it.
Yeah, you were the final word. There were all these people speaking out, and then he was like, Dusty's got a point.
Yeah, I felt it because literally the next day it popped up and I was like, he saw the episode and he was like,
it's interesting.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like a fact to me. It's science. So yeah, we don't have it anymore and I love it. A couple places still deal with it, but I still ignore them. So we're good.
Okay. Well, that's life in Arizona.
It's great, as it should be.
New shirts.
I freaking love that shirt.
So I'm gonna mail you one.
Go in my collection, dude. I love that one.
So
did you guys make? You made quite a variety, though. I saw the picture. You guys got some good shit going there.
Yeah, I'm gonna send you a couple. So you got to send me your address again, because
we'll change it all the time.
I guess good point, eh? Plus, I can never find it in our message thread. I would be looking.
7,000 messages ago.
Yeah, terrible. So, it was a very good week. Very happy. Last episode went pretty well. I know, we got a little controversial, but I didn't think it was that controversial. We didn't say anything offensive
either.
We just kind of
I just find that anything that's even. If you're honest, I just expect people to be in an uproar. That's really what it is.
Yeah.
But I found the opposite. I have to tell you, we have the coolest listeners because I had a few people tell me in person and on the thing that they backed us even more, even if they didn't agree.
Oh, that's interesting. Okay.
Because you're actually just saying what you think versus checking the temperature of the room. What should I say?
Right. I know what you mean. So I think what makes it a little bit easy for us. Actually, I don't want to use the word easy. I think it's why a lot of people with podcasts, upset people because I speak to you as if no one's going to hear this.
Yeah, I actually forget sometimes.
I honestly do. I forget that there's more than 10 people listening. When I think of our listeners, I'm just like, it just doesn't compute. So that takes the being careful away. That's why we say whatever we want, because we just don't think anyone's listening.
I also think it's because we're old and we've reached that point. When you get older, when I was young, I remember looking and being like, one day I'm going to be that asshole that just says whatever the fuck he wants.
That guy with the gray hair just says the rudest shit.
And I start seeing the grays come through the beard and I was like, that guy is me.
Yeah. Damn. No, but we don't mean, obviously I never mean to upset anybody, but hey, some people get upset at stuff that they shouldn't get upset about. You're allowed to have conversations about stuff. And I think right now, one of the things that the media is failing at and a lot of people are failing at is the ability to have a conversation about something without getting emotional.
Yeah, or I put a post up about it.
Problem.
Or about
so emotional.
Disagreeing is okay. You don't need the amount of people who will unplug the moment you disagree with them.
Yeah.
You're like, how are you going to be well-rounded? And I'm not. I've never tried to convince someone to do what I do or think what I think. This is what I do. But I find it fascinating because I have learned a ton from people who do things different than me.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So it's funny to me to block them from your life. And I think that was kind of the power. Like, remember back in the day with forums, if you spoke, you couldn't speak out of turn because you couldn't just delete other people. Like, you were in a forum. Whereas now I can say anything I want. And the moment you disagree with me on my page, I'm in complete control.
Yeah.
I can block you. Whereas I liked that. You had to earn your stripes before you could speak. And then once you did, you could say something that maybe hadn't been tried before, and people would actually say, well, maybe. I mean, he's not a moron. That's been proven.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it was it was an interesting time. I was talking about the forums the other day with a friend of mine because he just caught the tail end of that era.
Right. Before it was right. It was great for a while.
Yeah, it was pretty cool because it was like such a small little world, you know? Like one of my, and it made some weird friends too. Like, do you know Mike Pusinella?
Of course.
Yeah, right. The filmographer that
he's so good.
Yeah. So me and Mike became like really good buddies on MD. Like I'd never even met him. And we just became really good buddies, and we would gang up on people. We would like people gang up on us, and we just like, it was so funny. And it got to the point where when I went to my first North Americans in 2009, Mike messaged me. He's like, hey, I'm going to be there with me and Dave are both going to be there. You know, him and his brother Dave, obviously. But he's like, me and Dave are both going to be there. He's helping a bunch of people, and I got to film some stuff for somebody or something. You know what I mean? Yeah. Because he did a lot of stuff for MHP, right?
Yeah.
And so we like hooked up and got a coffee, and like I was prepping for the show, so I couldn't go eat or anything. So I like sat down with him and had a coffee, and we talked for like 2 hours. We just make like funny friends that you would have never made outside of the forums. But yeah, it was a cool time, Yeah. So, okay, what's going on with your questions? Do you have a ton of shit? Do you have anything that you want to cover before we get to the questions?
I mean, nothing things are important in my world.
You got to, you got to tell us about the Flex visit, Dragon's Lair. What happened?
Yeah, so we did that. Actually, that was some of the questions I got, which I thought were funny. I actually had somebody that said, how did it feel to train at the Dragon's Lair? And I'm like, felt like a gym.
Right.
I think the only thing that gets altered when you've been in this a long time is a great gym is a great gym. And I even found it was funny, but I'm so out of touch with, when you first get into bodybuilding, it's all about going to places where people are, being seen, making sure people know you. We got there purposely early so I could train. And then Dom, my tissue guy, was there. And I said, hey, can you run a reset on me real quick? Because we were just in the car. So he did. Tommy had never had one. He did that for him. And then he's like, you guys want to train with the new X on? Like, fuck it. Let's do it.
So that's like a newbie? Is it like just a different brand?
Yeah, it's a smaller version, so you can carry it around instead of having it on the cart. And then the other thing is it runs 2 different currents. So basically, and I'm giving you guys, nobody fact checked me. I'm purposely being very loose with words so I don't say anything stupid. Right. But it runs different currents, and between sets they change the current. So basically, for the 50 minutes we were training, my muscles were firing the entire time. I was sore as fuck. The next day I woke up, we did delts, and I literally was like, well, Abby beat my ass. 100-pound bikini pro kicked the shit out of me yesterday. I've never hurt like that before. I ran through a very typical workout, so I didn't let it slow down the intensity or anything like that. It was great. Loved it. But I also realized while I was doing it that I'm so just a bodybuilder that I forget. Like, I just went and trained, and then I got done, and I realized, oh, fuck, these people want to talk. My bad.
Right.
So I had to pull it back, and I looked up at one point and realized there were people watching, and they weren't watching because they were in awe. They were like, hey, dipshit, don't forget to say hello. I was like, oh, fuck. So you have to, and people, I experience, you just know in those places, you can just walk right up. People don't know that. So you have to tell them, hey, you need something. You got a question? So it was really cool. The gym was phenomenal, of course. I love everything about it. I mean, it's just set up perfectly. It's got great stuff. The vibe is great. Everyone in there was awesome. I think they'll be extremely successful because I really do believe, Ron, that in the States, the smaller gym model is going to start hurting the big boxes. I think that is going to kill them.
Yeah.
Because people want that, and they're tired of getting fucked around with. Here, like, for example, it's a known thing. Oh, you want to cancel from EOS? Good luck. Good luck getting them to stop charging your card one more time and one more time. It's like, it's a scam that everyone knows about, but they literally will not take cash up front for a year either. It's a and of course, if they heard, we never do that. Really? Everyone I've ever heard that's tried to cancel got hit at least 1 or 2 more times.
I had some commercial gym nightmares trying to cancel memberships.
Yeah, so it's a mess, but they're cranking, and then more importantly, because I'm selfish, a gym here, a single owner big box gym got purchased just recently, and in my opinion, the new owner is not smart, but maybe he's a genius. He sold everything in the gym.
Okay.
Which blows my mind because he has some really good stuff. So I went and shopped.
Oh, okay. So what did you get?
We only got a couple things because we only have 9,000 square feet. So we're pretty particular on what we wanted. But I finally got that Atlantis standing side ladder I've been wanting.
Nice.
Paid $800 for it. Thank you very much. Got what I believe to be a custom chest supported row that 3 plates murders me.
Right.
I mean, people are going to have quarters on that thing. The way it is set up, your legs are useless.
Yeah, it's a Superman row type of bench.
Oh, dude, it's so great. It is so great. So got that. And then I think he bought, this is a funny thing. There was also a leg press that I wanted. It was like a horizontal leg press, but it was knotless.
Right.
And I've seen him before around, but I was like, yeah, I'll grab that, you know. So I had told Lance, I was like, hey, can you grab that? Guy's like, yeah, $4,000. I'm like, dollars? You know, are we talking Canadian or what are we doing here? I mean, yeah, he was
get a new one for that.
For less. I looked. I was like,
yeah,
bro, I could save $500 to get a brand new one in any color I want. Yeah, I think this one's special. I'm like, I think you're special. But so Lance went and picked it all up. It was funny because I came back and one of the trainers was like, man, if you see we got that, he goes, you're going to love that thing. I'm like, I've used that one. He's like, we just got it. I said, I used it at the gym it was at before. I begged Lance to get that piece. So yeah, he bought it up. The gym looks awesome. And I'm literally, somebody asked me to spare, like, you ever going to open a gym? I'm like, no. Have you seen my gym? I already have one and someone else pays for it. It's phenomenal.
Yeah. Well, you got a good setup. I'd love to come and train there, man. Just because, you know, you love it so much. So if they make it home for you. Then
we have a new Arsenal shoulder press coming this week.
Okay, cool. Plate loaded?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, okay, cool.
You know me.
I like that one.
Yeah, it's good for my wrists because it's not the straight out like the hammer strength. Plus, I hate them.
I had to start wearing, I had someone ask me, is riding your bike causing any problems? And I was like, well, I did have to start wearing a Gasp wrist wrap.
That I could believe.
I wear one on my left wrist quite often, and
just
I wear
wrist.
And then when I press, I throw it on too. On heavy presses, I throw one on my left wrist. Yeah,
just from the constant abuse.
Yeah, just funny. It's like one of the spots on my body that actually feels it.
That's fantastic. Yeah, so that's it. That's my whole life has been told you guys.
I thought it looked like a lot of fun, and it kind of looked like the gym at the expo, like. You know, whatever.
It was.
The Arnold.
Exactly what it was.
Yeah. It's like going to the Arnold and
hot as fucking here.
And training at that Metro gym downtown or whatever it was, the powerhouse now.
Yeah.
When it's just packed, you know.
Yeah, so, like you wouldn't. I mean, it worked well. We planned on delts because I said no matter what's there, I can grab some dumbbells.
Yeah.
We'll get a workout in.
Shoulders and arms. That's all that's safe to train on those crazy days.
Yeah, but it was great, and they're gonna kill it. And I did not realize that everyone in the industry moved to Vegas.
Yeah, I looked at some of the pictures, and there was a whole bunch of people that were there, and I was like, oh yeah, they live there.
Yeah.
Like I forgot that Dennis Wolf was going to show up because he lives there.
Yeah, well then I guess Hide and Iris are opening a powerhouse also soon in Vegas. So I mean, Vegas it's kind of like saying Phoenix because Phoenix encompasses all of our cities when you say that. So I mean, more than enough space for him. But I heard that during the interviews that they were doing, and Hide was like, yeah, we're opening our gym soon. And I'm like, this fucking world, man. It works. So yeah, it was pretty nice. It was really nice. And I know one thing I like that Flex is doing is he capped the memberships.
Yeah.
So you know, you walk in, you pay for the year, and you're set. You got your spot. You know what I mean? Which I think is genius. That's kind of been the master plan when we were originally talking about building a gym, not for profit, but essentially for break even. My plan was to figure out how many people it took at $200 a month to pay for itself. You know, I would have funded the equipment, but I was like, how many people at $200 a month would it take? And it's a key. You want to sell your key? Cool. Let me know who we're selling it to.
Right. Yeah, I know that exclusivity and not having to put up with corporate type of stuff, you know, is something that a lot of people are willing to pay for, especially in those markets where there's a little bit of extra income for some people. They're like $200 a month for a gym where I have no hassles and no one's on my machine and there's no stupid groups of people that have no idea what they're doing. No problem. I'll pay that all day long.
Yeah, and I think, you know, it's crazy. I didn't realize how well you guys did it, because I'm spoiled. When I come to your gym, it's yours, but I think of gyms differently than most people. They're all mine. Like I walk in, I'm like, I'm home. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
As long as they have good equipment and they let me use it, I'm comfortable. I really realize now after seeing what Lance has done with Muscle Factory that you guys created something. Like I told him the other day, he was like, I'm thinking about doing something, another gym. I'm like, no. I need you sitting in that chair. No, I couldn't replace you. Like people know, they walk in, Lance is here. He knows everybody by name. I'm like, I really realize that that's what you guys have done. And you particularly, because you're there all the time with your gym, that has an immense value. You realize, I actually kind of know every person in this room every time I come.
Yeah, it's kind of cool.
Yeah, I dig it. I love it.
You know, some people don't want to like talk to people at the gym, and I don't know everybody. That's cool. You know, some people don't say hi at the front desk. They just fucking walk through. You say hi to them, they don't say hi back. But some people are just shy and they just don't. You know, it's not that they're rude. They're just like, you know, in a super fucking hurry. Yeah. You know, a lot of people can barely fit the time to work out in their day. So, you know, we don't bug everybody trying to talk to them. But yeah, you know, generally a very friendly gym is got that community feel to it. And they're usually where most of the bodybuilders wind up.
Yeah. One, people know. I think that's the big thing is I don't really talk to people either.
Yeah.
But they do know. Like I've had a few instances where someone will just walk over and say, hey, you know, I had a girl just recently come over and she goes, I hurt my back doing deads and I want to squat, but I don't know if I should yet. And I was like, let's put you on the pendulum and see. You know, I asked her what is the injury. Right. It was safe. We went over, and I mean, now it was funny. She's moving to Tennessee, and she went into a gym now, and she walks in. She goes, "Do you guys have a pendulum squat?" Right. The guy was like, "Why?" She goes, "I love that machine." And she goes, "Oh my, a guy from my gym, Dusty, told me about it." He goes, "Oh, so you're talking about, you know, he knew that he actually literally." He goes, "Oh, Muscle Factory." She was like,
"That's funny." Yeah. Power of Instagram, buddy.
Exactly. So good stuff, man. But you
Everybody
got some
knows way too much.
Rocking, or what do we?
Yeah,
got?
I got tons. Let's start out with this one.
Yes.
What do you consider? I don't know where I get these. Some of the ones people send me.
I love that they give you the good ones.
I don't know if this is too early for this one. This might be a heavy one off the bat.
1 second.
What do you consider? There we go. Okay, Dusty's ready now.
I'm ready.
What's the greatest invention of all time?
Porn. I'm done.
Okay, no. What would you say?
Man.
Do you go early or do you go like, you know,
I think
percentage of change?
You bring a good question because it's very difficult. I mean, if I say the internet, great, but what about cars? What about air conditioning? I mean, many little things that we have been invented. They're like, oh.
So you got like concepts like agriculture.
Yeah, Jesus. Now you're man.
Right?
The answer is I need all of them.
or plumbing. Right? Like just think of what happened to the cities when, you know, they invented plumbing.
Let me give you an example though, of why this is such a hard question to answer.
Urban living. Okay?
So I met a guy.
Vaccines.
Through a friend.
Polio, smallpox. See, there you go. Sorry, I'll stop.
Think small. I met a guy through a friend who's like a multi-millionaire.
Mm-hmm.
Talking, and I was like, oh, what do you do? Thinking it was a big thing. He goes, oh, I invented the PVC elbow.
Yeah,
I'm like,
told me about this guy.
It didn't always turn. What the fuck was it used for?
It was the best way to do it.
I mean, literally, when you hear that, you're like, well, why did we have a PVC pipe if it couldn't? Like, the guy that made the pipe didn't make the turn. So, my point is the best invention's almost impossible because every single thing matters. I mean, this day and age, I will say the best invention for me, and this is just for my little life at this point, the internet has been an amazing thing.
Right.
And that's an encompassing thing, but like, I pretty much only know people because of the internet. I can only keep in contact because of the internet. I haven't seen you in like a year and a half.
Yep.
But you literally forget that. Like if I were to come there tomorrow, I wouldn't be like, dude, I haven't seen you in so long. I'd be like, I saw you last week. I don't know. God, but yeah, what do you think is the? I mean, I guess vaccines are probably the greatest thing because we would all be dead.
Yeah, if you think about numbers, like that's what I mean, you know? Or is it antibiotics? Antibiotics probably. I don't know. One of the two, like medical stuff, and then you got electricity. Hey,
I would have
some of these things.
Any time prior to now, I would have been even a weaker human than I am now.
You know, the battery, internal combustion engine, as you mentioned. Craziness. It's interesting to think.
The morning after pill. I mean,
the morning.
Good shit right there.
Trenbolone acetate. Yeah. No, it makes you wonder about stuff when you think, what's the greatest invention of all time? Because they all build and stack on one another, and
but something started it too.
Yeah.
We need the viewers to give us some examples in the comments. What are some of the things we're missing?
Hey, you go back far enough and you get the wheel.
Exactly.
Right. Yeah.
Some guy said the horse isn't enough.
Yeah. Some guy said the horse isn't enough. No, man, it's crazy. So I got to bring this up because we're talking about inventions. So here's a little history for you. So one of my favorite quotes, I just got to make sure I find it here.
You're going to ruin this.
Okay. So there was a report to Congress in 1843 by a patent office commissioner. Now, there's a little bit debate on who actually said it, apparently, according to the internet. A lot of times it gets credited to a guy named Duell in 1902. But they're thinking now it was actually a report to Congress in 1843 by a patent office commissioner named Henry Ellsworth, who was talking about how he didn't think the patent office was that important anymore because everything that can be invented has already been invented.
We don't need to do this anymore.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah. We pretty much invented everything. So, but they say Charles H. Duell was the one. He was the commissioner in 1899 and he said it. He didn't write it. He said it. So he gets credited on most of these articles as saying that, everything that's been invented has already been invented. I don't know what we're.
This all seems a little report.
Yeah. This might be a government department that we can close soon. So it shows you that not everyone in government has the vision.
Oh my God.
Right? Just think that guy was the head of the patent office. And that was his vision for the future. So these people we're electing, it's really like we're not electing the smartest people. We're electing a random neighbor. That's who we're electing. Random neighbor, and we're not quite sure if he agrees with us on much.
That's why. Yeah. But and then you got the guys on the other end of the spectrum. Like, could you imagine if you were to say that to like Elon Musk now? Well, aren't we kind of capped out? Isn't this the end?
Yeah.
Isn't this all our great grandchildren are ever going to see right here, right now?
So I have to depart from the quote. Well, there's kind of some questions about TV shows and stuff here, but I have to go to TV shows now.
Roll.
So two things about TV shows. First of all, have you got back into Yellowstone?
I did watch an episode since you sent me the reminder.
Have you finished season 1 yet?
No.
Okay. Season 1 ends awesome. And season 2, let me just tell you, watch out. Like,
really?
You think Sons of Anarchy on a Ranch? Okay, you're going to get Sons of Anarchy on a Ranch pretty soon here. But you got to, because season 1, you're like.
I was right, but I didn't realize how right I was.
Yeah, so season 1, you're like, well, it's kind of like Sons of Anarchy on a Ranch, but, not quite as violent and,
right.
Seedy. And then season 2 comes, you're like, oh, okay, now we're getting dark. Now they're turning the light. Now they're letting the characters fester. Right. And the stuff's starting to boil over and I'm like, oh God, this is going to get really, really messy. So yeah, we might have to revisit that cowboy biker discussion.
Yeah, when I catch back now. See, the good news is you're giving me reasons. I realized the other day when you sent that to me, because I was like, why did I stop watching? I wasn't bored of it. It wasn't like it was off. And I just realized when Sons of Anarchy was out, I was in a point in life where sitting in front of my TV was an important thing to do.
Right. You're just busy.
And now I laugh because I've been trying to switch insurance. And it's going to save me like $100 and something bucks a month for my health insurance. And the lady's like, are you serious? I'm like, I hate to tell you this, but the things I'm doing make me more than the $100 and something bucks a month. So I'm just trying to find time for you.
Right.
I really appreciate that I only need 15 minutes, but it's hard to find at the moment. Yes, so, I need to get back now. It's now an emergency.
I don't want people to think I watch TV all the time. I hardly have time for it, but that's why I'm so specific about what we watch.
But that's why we're having this, because you actually checked in on me. That's when I knew. I was like, I got to get back, because I actually do.
Because we watched
like an episode a night, and that's a stretch, and it's because you don't sleep. So I laugh because you text me. You sleep at weird hours. You text me like super late, and I'm like, Ron knows I'm awake.
Yeah, you got to watch it. So that's what Emily and I are watching is the Yellowstone. But then I've got my own show, and I finally got back into it because I took a huge break, and it was that sci-fi show on Amazon called The Expanse.
I've seen that on my TV as an option, but I of course have never watched it.
So I talked about it earlier and how I thought it was good. They had some cool characters and stuff, and it was kind of a neat, really neat premise that they've set up. Like the world that they created is really cool. And first 3 seasons, or first 2.5 seasons were like, pretty cool. It's like, okay, I'm totally into this. And then what happens is I was told like it was great, but it wasn't like mind blowing.
Right.
But I was told that how season 3 ends transforms the show, and it becomes this like insane, even more insane story. And so I was like, okay, we'll just see where this goes. And then the way they ended season 3, I like cannot believe what they did. And I'm so excited to watch season 4, which is on Amazon. So I'm like going to fucking binge it.
How come Emily doesn't like this show? Is it just the timing? She's not home when you can watch that, or what?
Well, she's not really into sci-fi like I am.
Mm-hmm.
But then, of course, I'm 3 seasons deep, and she starts watching a little bit while she's eating. She's like, oh, that show's actually pretty good. I'm like,
it's too late now.
Too late now. You can't watch it.
You watch The Wall.
Yeah, watch The Wall. Turn to the corner.
I gave you your chance 3 seasons ago. You're glad you didn't, though, because I had that before with Evian, where she'd be like hinting in, and I'm like, I'm not going back. I'm not waiting for you.
Oh no!
You know how you're supposed to like leave no man behind? It doesn't count in television.
That ship has left the harbor. Missed your ride. You got to pick another show.
Yeah, what's your own show? You could. Yellowstone's next. It's fine.
You can catch up if you want.
I don't know when with your schedule, but good luck. In between clients, she's on her cell phone watching 5, 7.
Yeah.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Thanks for watching another podcast here at Think Big Bodybuilding Media. And thank you to our great sponsor, TrueNutrition.com, for making this all possible. TrueNutrition.com is owned by Dante Trudell, the creator of DC Training. He wanted to create a supplement company that offered high-quality, third-party tested supplements at a fair price. High-quality protein powders, just about every type you could think of. Huge variety of flavors, plus health and performance supplements. Check them out, TrueNutrition.com. And hey, if you use our code ADVICES, you directly support our podcasting. Thanks, guys. Let's get back to the program.
Okay, you got one? You got to ask one.
Dude, I was having so much fun just being like on the side. Okay. You've really ruined this for me now. Okay, here we go. This is actually a good one. I've went through this for some clients already. How would you change eating if you had COVID and you felt like death? Do your best to eat? Question.
I just consume whatever easy calories I could while I was sick. I'm the type of guy that if I was like super sick with the flu or something, I'd pound a shake and sleep for 7 hours. And then I'd eat a tub of ice cream and make myself have some meat and go to bed for 7. I would just, I'm you're sick. I don't know.
I'm the same. That's why I wanted to ask that, because I've told all of my clients, I mean, fortunately, knock on wood, none were in the middle of a prep. I was like, you're sick. Who cares? Get better.
Yeah, well,
get better is what I mean. When I say who cares, what I mean is who cares about bodybuilding? You're not going to lose a shit ton of muscle. Whatever you're going to lose, you're going to lose anyways, because you're not going to eat enough.
Yeah, so that's my thing, is that you're under eating
down. That's fine. And like you said, you nailed it too. If there's something that sounds good, and when you can't eat, if something sounds good, I'm like, oh, fuck, eat that. Whatever it is.
You know what I mean? And I'm assuming too that when you're sick, there's no way you would ever go over your calories. You're not really that sick. If
not that sick.
Yeah, if you can go over on your calories and actually put fat on, then you're not sick because you're able to eat a lot.
Yeah, not from COVID. Everyone I know who had COVID it's a battle. And I even just tell them, I'm like, I have a crazy belief in stress and cortisol. I'm like, I don't want you stressing about another thing.
No, just relax. Drink some shakes.
Whenever we get through it, we'll get back to work. You know what I mean? Eat what you can.
Peanut butter sandwiches. You'll be fine. You know what I mean?
Simple.
Okay.
Ooh.
Go ahead.
This is an important one for you. What's more anabolic? Oversized t-shirts with sleeves covering the biceps or tank tops?
Oversized t-shirts for sure.
Obviously.
Definitely. They hold in.
I can tell follow us because they're very specific. Wear shirts that are too big.
Because the science shows that the androgens evaporate out of your body, and the big shirt holds in the androgen steam, and it reabsorbs through your skin transdermally, and then you get a reuptake of androgens.
Which is why your receptors never need to be reset.
Yeah, it's just science.
That's literally my answer for everything stupid I say. I go, it's science.
Right now, there's someone like, really? Your sweat has androgens in it?
Googling, wait, what?
They're not cluing into our sense of humors. That's so funny. Okay. How close are we to having the book 1984 be accurate?
Oh, my God. What time is it? It's getting. I feel bad because I feel like the majority of our viewers have no idea what we're talking about. But it's frightening actually, the mirroring that's going on. Let's just leave it at that.
Funny. I heard so I have you read 1984?
Yeah.
I have a copy of 1984 here. I was actually going to read it again. So but that's George Orwell. So I heard someone the other day, and they were not joking or arguing, but they were just like having a little conversation about what's more accurate, Orwell's depiction of the future where we're all controlled with fear, or Huxley, who wrote A Brave New World, where everyone's controlled with pleasure and satiation and pacified. It's sort of interesting. It's like, they're both like, Orwell's version of the future was very
it's dark.
Very dark. And then Huxley's vision of the future was like that pacified cluelessness of just happy obedience. You know what I mean?
I would, if I could choose which one I was going to live in, I'm going pacified because
Matrix
they didn't even know. Like, like I laugh. You know, they always say that. Like, what is it? Like not knowing is an advantage. What's that saying goes?
Ignorance is bliss.
Yeah, like that. It's so true because I've seen people that are dumber than fuck in a situation. I'm like, I don't even know if I want to fix that because he seems so happy. I don't want to break the bubble like about Santa Claus. I mean, it's good that you think he's real. It's cool.
Right. I know.
You guys, if you haven't read those, you should though, because the fear one, it's funny, but that I noticed the people who are against living by fear in general more now than ever. You know. And it's becoming more common to be openly speaking out against it, which is kind of nice. I've noticed a few people I don't know well that I realize, oh, you and I we're on the same team. That's nice,
right? And also too, I sort of feel like I don't want to get too crazy on this stuff, but I feel like the media really tries to divide left and right.
Of course,
there's a whole lot of people here, but the people on the left and the right,
they're the loud ones.
They seem to, a lot of them, like the loud ones, they think the centrists are like the worst type of people. They're like, pick a side.
Yep.
Yeah, like you're humming and hawing and not decisive, and you're part of the problem and all this sort of stuff. But yeah, I think there's so here's a question for you. Do you think the media is going to, well, hey, there could be a transformation of the media because of all the podcasts and the non-network controlled sources now. Mm-hmm. But do you think the media is going to try to fix its ridiculous way of operation so that it can become more credible again and try to gain back like trust from the public? Or do you think that the corporate media is just so far gone that they're just going to like die a slow death? I don't know.
I think the media is Blockbuster Video.
Okay, so they're not going to clue in.
And then what becomes tricky is the lazy people, and I use the word lazy not in a negative connotation, just factually. The people who will not
busy people.
Yeah, the people who will not take the time to seek out their own information will really struggle because they're used to being spoon-fed the truth. That stopped happening,
right?
Or at least it's my truth. It's kind of like if you have a breakup and everyone only listens to your version of the ugly situation.
Right.
It's not 100% accurate, but there's some pieces in there that are real. Right. That's where the media is. So I think it's too far because I think the powerful people of the world, the people who aren't run by fear, aren't coming back. Right. I walk into my mother's house and they have the news on. I go, can you turn that off?
Yeah.
Like immediately. I don't even want to hear it.
Yeah.
Like, I'm afraid that I always joke that stupidity might be contagious, and I don't want to get any on me.
One of the things that I was listening to people talk about this exact thing, the kind of loss of market share that the corporate media is seeing right now with like massive ratings drops, and then viewership on podcasts is like, Rogan's getting fucking like 10 million downloads an episode.
Yeah.
And just insane shit like that. So they're talking about it. And one of the guys said, I can't remember all their names. I'm not like a media pro guy. And he said, one of the problems with the corporate media is that a lot of the good, smart people have left.
Right.
And a lot of the people left, a lot of people that are still there, they're so virtuous in their thinking that they think that they are doing the most good thing they can do by being the type of media person they are. Like they think it's good for society what they're doing. So it's hard to change it.
Well, I think what's happening in some places, and I think I might have mentioned this, but I'm not sure. Here, the highest rated night show of news has been the same two people since I was a kid.
Right.
And about a month ago, the woman of the two, not only did she leave, but she voiced why. And she literally said, I can't, this isn't news anymore. This is not something I can be proud of. It's not something I can put my name behind.
Right.
And we're not doing our jobs anymore. And the media has changed. And when you hear somebody who your parents and now you are an adult with kids have been listening to, and you trust her as an individual, and she says that, you're like, oh shit. Because when Dusty says it, a fucking meathead that's got opinions, like who gives a shit? But when someone you've looked to as truth literally says, hey, we're lying to you now. And literally she was like, I don't even know what I'm gonna do, but like, this is my career. Right. But I can't do it this way anymore. You know? She's like, I don't even know what I'm going to do. I'm like, we're going to write a book. But anyways. But, you know, I mean, that's good. When I saw it, I was so happy because I was like, oh, that's going to get some of the outliers that couldn't see it yet to go, wait.
Yeah.
Linda or Katie or whatever the fuck her name is says this now too? Shit. Maybe we have
there'll be a lot more of that.
Yeah.
I think there's going to be some pushback. There's got to be some cultural pushback to all this sort of hyping everything and making everything so sensationalistic and over the top, and you know, every single thing is offensive, and then focusing on the outrage. And there's got to be a pushback to it, because I hear a pushback in everyone I talk to, even the people that I talk to, like that are kind of more polarized to left or right. Like I got friends that are like, you know, open carry constitutional motherfuckers.
Yep.
And then I've got friends that are like, you know, leftist university, you know, understudies that are going for PhDs.
Right.
And they all say the same thing. And like a lot of them say the same thing. Not all of them, obviously, but the ones I'm friends with say the same thing. They're like, yeah, it's like, you know, we got to, you know, stop the media's just bullshit right now and stuff. So more people are being, you know, recognizing it.
Yeah.
You know, so I don't know. I have high hopes. I'm optimistic. I'm not black pilled. Have you heard that term? Black pilled.
I haven't heard that.
Yeah. So, you know, there's red pilled and blue pilled.
Yes. Right.
Like the red pilled are the ones that are like awake to reality, and the blue pills are the ones that are living in dream world.
Yeah.
And then now there's this term black pilled, which is you just think you're like, okay, I see clearly now. Everything's going to fucking end. The economy's going to crash. There's a race war coming. Currency's going to be devalued to most immeasurable levels. We're going to be killing each other for cans of tuna. Let's get ready. So that's like, I'm not black pilled. I'm pretty optimistic that we're going to work things out, and we're going to realize, you know, all this nonsense is frying our brains.
Yeah, no, it all, I mean, I think at the end of the day, it's like your own personal life. Eventually it all works out.
Complete chaos?
Of course. Well, mine. If it's not that way, I have to do something. But you look back and you go, oh, that's why I had to go through that.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on in my guest room, but it's fucking wild.
Yeah. Who knows? Or the people you have over at your house, who knows what's going on in your guest room?
It's fucking wild.
Okay. You go ahead. You got one?
The hookers getting here. Oh, sorry. Here we go.
Did you just say dead hookers?
I said I didn't even remember the hookers coming in, but apparently they did. It's way too loud in there.
I don't know where I got dead hookers from. I apologize for that.
It's because it's not so out of reach. Oh, this is good. I'm trying to touch some of these sometimes if I don't think they're bad. DECA only cycle. Is it stupid or effective?
Well, I would never do it because my body hates DECA. So
I laugh because so does mine. But to answer the question, I know that Jordan had great results with that.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was no test, but I think it was like 200 milligrams, like super low. It might have been none. But he said he could eat. Unlike when he was on other cycles. And that's something I press, and I know you do too, Ron, is like anything that affects your eating has to go.
And also, too, side effects are almost always just dose dependent. So, you know, maybe my body hates DECA because I was always taking it with 750 test and, you know, 50 mgs Anadrol or whatever, you know.
Right.
But maybe if I was just on nothing but, you know, 150 or 200 mgs of DECA, maybe I would have felt like $1 million and had no problems.
Yeah, well, some guys, they crank on a DECA only cycle. They'll take 800 milligrams of it.
Yeah.
I'm like you. I would never know because there's a few things in the arsenal that are popular tools that I've thrown out years ago. I'm like, oh, I hate that.
Yeah. I know exactly what you mean.
You know?
Yeah.
But yeah, I here's my answer to the question, guys. I think I'm repeating this so often. No matter what I say, Ron says, anybody else says, you got to find what works for you. And I think that's the thing to press. Like, you really want to know if a deca only cycle works? Do it.
Yeah. I mean,
it's not going to, you'll know if you don't like it, and it's not going to hurt you. Now, I'm not saying, oh, you're not sure if 4 grams of test works? Give it a shot. But with something that's sensible, give it a roll, and then you can decide, because it's just like training. It's not one size fits all. The never-ending arguments are everyone wants to put everyone else in a box. You know, I was having a conversation with Tommy the other day, and when I was coming up, I would try everything. So when Branch and Johnny were in their prime, I was like, I don't know about that training, but I got to fucking try it. Look at these two, you know? So I started training in the violent, I don't even know what to call it, manner that they trained in. And my forearms were fucked up, and I had, you know, golfers this and tennis that. And I'm like, Jesus, I change in sports? What the fuck's going on here? My body could not handle that in every way. I strained a pec 3 or 4 times trying to get explosive on inclines. But I never said that training is stupid.
Right.
Because the results screamed, that training is awesome.
Some people have no problem with it.
It doesn't work for me. And that's the answer on the DECA thing too, is, you know, coincidentally, Ron and I, neither one of us use it, but I'm also telling you, oh, fuck it, give it a roll, see what happens.
Yeah. Okay.
You're up.
I agree. Here's one for you. I don't know if either one of us can answer this.
I'll make something up. Let's do it.
What is the key to being engaging and interesting as a host in a YouTube video?
Okay. I can answer this, actually.
Okay. Dusty's on it.
All right, this is easy. Be yourself. Because here's the thing. There are people who get on my channel and are like, oh, my God. I get it all the time. I don't know how you don't have more subs. This is the greatest secret, blah, blah, blah. I have other people like, this fucking guy never stops. Everything's a joke, always laughing, no good like, point being is there's someone for everyone. You might be dull as shit to me. Yeah. And someone else might be like, this is so much great information. I love it. So stop trying to decide what your viewers want and create it. Do what you do. The market will decide if they have a value for you. But I just don't think you can create something. I have a lot of people I really respect and look up to that are phenomenal, and I would never try to do their thing because I wouldn't be good at it.
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. I don't know what point it was. Maybe it was before bodybuilding or before all the videos and before everything. But I remember when Ryan first pointed a camera at me for Mutant. I remember knowing already at that point, the only hope I have here is to just be myself.
Right.
And there's going to be a whole bunch of people that think that I'm boring and unimportant and whatever. And there's going to be all these comments, but there's going to be a bunch of people that are going to connect because I already knew at that point, plus Rich was in my ear the whole time. Your audience will find you.
Right.
He said it to me all the time. Your audience will find you. It don't matter. Film yourself eating a bowl of cereal. The people that want to watch you eat cereal will watch you eat cereal. There's an audience for that.
That's so true.
He's like, your audience will find you. And he's like, that's why, that's all I'm going to do. I'm just going to put my personality out there and that's what they're going to get. I remember him saying that. So that's, that's all I knew that was my only hope, because it's sort of like I see it as like having a fake internet personality or like a separate person that you become. It's different when you just go into mode. That's different. I go into host mode all the time. But to become a separate like person, it would be like having a second wife and trying to keep it a secret. It'd be like living a double life.
Right.
It would be so much to manage at some point. It would take up too much space to be two separate people and try to have your internet personality that's all built around this artificial nonsense and this hosting personality, and then also be yourself. Like that would just be too much work for me.
Right.
Maybe some people are up for it. Maybe some people love that idea. I'm going to be this, and then, I can handle being that. Like, you know what I mean? I don't know how it works in their brains.
No, I get what you're saying. I think what it was for me, truthfully, is unlike you, I had no plan at all. Todd, who's here filming this weekend, literally showed up to a photo shoot that I did for iForce after my first overall win. He's like, "You mind if I film you today?" I'm like, "Sure." And then as we started doing things, he came into town one time and literally, like the Costco videos, which are what put me kind of on the map, so to speak.
Right.
He's like, "I'm going to film you." I'm like, "Okay." And it was just like you were talking about earlier. It was him and I. So I was joking with him and fucking around in the store, forgetting that people are watching it eventually. Because at that point, I didn't even know who's going to watch it. We don't even have a YouTube channel. Like, I was literally fucking off. So like you said, the only difference in the YouTube personality is it's all turned up. Because I don't literally sit around and joke nonstop in the fucking gym or when I'm cooking.
No, but when you're doing
understand, it's the same thing that I do. So it's like, yeah, this is my job to entertain. And sometimes I'll literally get done and go, that was a little far, but we'll see.
Yeah,
that was a lot more jokes than necessary, but I didn't know what to do. I was standing there doing nothing. But outside of that, it's the same shit. I mean, you and I hang out. That is who you are. It's just a little more because they're gonna watch for 10 fucking minutes.
Well, yeah, it's like interviewing someone. I mean, you don't want dead air. So if there's a camera pointed at you and the guy's filming, I mean, you could give him something.
Yeah.
But, where you draw from, do you draw from like a fake personality, or do you just kind of like pull real out of your ass and hope they laugh at your jokes? I mean, that's what
would I say here if it was an awkward silence? Because that's what we're going with.
Yeah.
No, I like that. Rich's advice is great, though. It's so funny to hear somebody like him that had that. Because it's true. Like, I am amazed at what people do want to watch. I'm like,
well, so it sort of this question kind of reminds me in a way of the old school pro wrestlers.
Right.
And they would wind up kind of becoming their personas.
Right.
Right. Because the personas were so over the top that, and would garner them so much attention. Like, just think of Hulk Hogan when he's in mode, or Macho Man, when he's in his, and he's talking like, and he's in his character.
Yep.
And, if the fans would see them later and they would want that character.
Yeah, they want them all the time. Yeah.
And they wind up like a lot of those old pro wrestlers, they kind of winded up like being their character all the time. And it got weird to some point. It got weird,
Right.
For some of them.
That's
okay. Cool. Imagine your neighbor is like one of those guys. When you talk to him, he's like, talks like that. Will you see?
I'm just asking if I could borrow some sugar. Why are you being so weird?
How's the weather been? It's been really rainy.
That would actually be fun to fuck with your neighbor if you like moved into the neighborhood and you just did all that shit for like a week straight. Then finally it was all the bro, I was just fucking with you.
Yeah, just dress like that all the time. They think, who the fuck is this guy?
Oh my God, that's great. Okay, I got yes, and this one's for you because God knows I'm not qualified.
I have to apologize for a terrible impression of what was kind of like not meant to be Macho Man, but what sounded like a bad Macho Man.
I was just trying to be over the top.
I was just trying to be like wrestler guy. That was more of a generic impression than a Macho Man impression. So no offense to the hardcores out there.
But they're all pissed. We pissed them off too.
Ron did a terrible Savage impression. Comments. I must go to the comment section. That did shame to the king.
They're getting ready right now. Okay. What's a date idea for someone you don't know on a first date? Make it fun or dinner?
I think that this is my advice. Well, here's advice. Never go to a movie on a first date.
I don't know why you do that.
You don't get to talk. You don't get to know each other. Nothing's going on. Of course, we all did it when we're younger because that's the only place you could maybe, hey, make out a little bit. The good old days. So anyways, I would do, well, it depends on where you live. Like, hey, going for like a walk to grab like a coffee together instead of just meeting for a coffee. Mm-hmm. Maybe meet at a park and walk to get a coffee. I don't know. I'm just coming up with random ideas as if I was like some young guy dating for the first time.
Sure. Like, you know what's weird? The question that threw me is I've never been in a situation where I didn't know the person at all.
Yeah.
See, that's on like a date. Like, so I would like, at least know, like, okay, this chick would think mini golf is fun.
Right.
You know, versus,
that's actually,
I don't know anything.
Wait a minute here. We gotta stop and appreciate the imagine going on a first date with someone you didn't know anything about. What kind of fucking, just think, like, that's sort of where I was when I was thought of the question. I was like, okay, well, we got to.
I think that's where you're supposed to be, though, because that's what he asked. If you don't know them.
Because if you don't know the person, you want lots of conversation on the first date.
Yeah.
Because you got to go over music. You have to go over movies, porn preferences, thoughts on marijuana use. We got some.
You
topics.
Actually really do. You got to cover some bases here.
Some
to decide if you even need a second date or even a menage a trois.
Of not like, I don't care too much, but there's a couple of general political things we have to get past, and I'll ask vague questions around them to kind of get where you're at. Yeah.
I'd be terrible in that situation because I would sit down at a clipboard. I'm like, so what are your thoughts on?
Right.
They think they were in an interview.
Correct. Boom. Is Question President Biden doing an adequate job with border security?
This is not a yes or no. Dig deep. Dig deep. She's sweating. What is happening?
I don't know. I haven't watched the news lately.
90 degrees or ass to grass. I need to know.
Right. Yes.
Yeah, so I could see that would be a problem for me because the poor girl would run immediately.
I don't know what to do on a first date with someone you don't know. Something where you got to talk a lot.
I'd be so uncomfortable. I'd never stop talking. They'd be like, this fucking dude doesn't stop. Okay. Now, I'd get next, like, sure, in that scenario.
Sort of think, like, don't chicks dig, like, chicks like to do shit.
I hate that.
Like Emily, she's like, hey, I'm going to go for a hike. To me, that just sounds like an aimless walk in the bush, and then you come back to your car.
Yeah, I don't get that either. That's like going somewhere. Every time someone comes down, like, you want to go to the Grand Canyon? I'm like, why? Wasn't it beautiful? I'm like, I don't know. I've never been. Why have you never been? I've seen it. Where? The internet. I'm going to drive 4 hours. Ron, this is what it'd be. I'd walk up and I go, it's a big fucking hole.
Yeah, it's just like they said it was.
Restaurants or anything up here? Because we drove 4 hours to get here. Why? What are we doing?
It
would irritate the shit out of me. Or I love when, no, but there's that view. Remember Stacy was up there? She took the picture. I go, yeah, I saw the picture, so I saw the view. Why are we going?
Or do you take the horse ride to the bottom of the canyon? Which is like, isn't it like a fucking 4-hour horse ride or something like that?
That's what I'm saying. None of this stuff sounds good.
You know what I think sounds good? Helicopter ride over the Grand Canyon.
Yes. Right? I did that in Chicago. I did the city that way. I was like, fuck, I just saw the whole city. I never have to come back. We're good.
There you go. Good. Hey, have you been to? Well, kind of. I flew a helicopter over the whole city, so I kind of been everywhere.
Yeah, I did the thing. I did the damn. You see, you and I think that literally Charity will do that. Oh, you want to go for a hike? I know it's a great spot. I'm like, no.
Chicks always want to go for a walk. That's why I threw that out there. No one think that I'm like into going for walks or anything.
No. Yeah. Well, because you said walk. That might have thrown them.
Yeah.
Walk.
I'm just thinking like, yeah. I also think it would be kind of weird to like meet someone for a coffee when you don't really know them. Like you walk in and they're sitting at a table. It's like, and then the first thing you think is, this is the table you fucking picked, the one right by the fucking door.
You want to laugh? A friend of mine had a guy that was just jamming on her, like online, just comments. So finally she goes, all right, let's meet for coffee. We'll meet at Starbucks. So she's sitting there waiting for him. He walks in with a dozen long stem roses. First time they've ever met.
Oh, no.
She's like, oh, fuck. Like she immediately knew. She's like, I can't be him. It looks just like him. It can't be him. It's like, oh, fuck it. That's like awkward. He hands her these and she's like, a lot.
So the only thing that works at that point is if it's all just a gag.
Immediately go, I am totally fucking with you. I own a floral shop, and I just want to watch you freak out.
Right. Yeah. These are useless, and then he throws them in the garbage.
just fucking with you. We were throwing these away this morning.
They were just a prop.
Literally. She told me that. I'm like, well, it's already over. It's already done. This guy is a stage 5 clinger for sure.
Right off the bat. I
come in with a wedding ring. What the fuck?
Damn.
Yeah. So there you go. Don't do that is my advice.
Okay. Is it my turn? Yes.
It is.
What guest have we had that you've learned the most from?
Ron. I learned something every episode. In fact, today I learned there was something that Ron didn't know a lot of things about, and it threw me back. You did not know the name of everyone that's online or whatever we were talking about.
Oh, damn.
No, okay. Guess that's not Ron. That's tricky. Who's yours? I'm still thinking.
I don't know. I there's a lot of ways I could take this question. Learn the most from. I remember thinking that I learned the most if I was thinking about the guest, like learned the most about the guest from.
Right.
I think Hollingshead. I remember he had some really great stories, and he went kind of deep personally. So there was a lot that I learned about James on that podcast. I remember we had him on twice, but there was a lot that came out on those ones. I thought those were good for learning about the guest. They've all the guests are great though. All the guests have been great.
You know what's crazy? So I have known all of our guests pretty well.
Most of them, yeah.
Before they came on, some are not really.
Some,
but even the ones that I knew well, I really appreciated the depth of how much further we got to meet them.
Right.
And I will say that on multiple, Hollingshead being one of them, that's why I bring it up. I was going to say he definitely altered my views a little bit, and just how to look at situations, which I thought was awesome because I had a much deeper respect for him after our first interview than I had before, which was shocking because I already thought he was awesome. But I was like, all right, these are some areas in life I could work on. Like literally, after you get done, you're like, man, I am super shallow. I should work on this a little bit.
I could get better at that one thing that he kept
because when he went into depth about, like for example, energy exchange and just,
with the Kilimanjaro hike.
Yeah, I was like, damn,
energy to people and
needing it and not knowing. And I was like, and I do know that I'm a firm believer in it, but when someone can really paint you a picture of it happening, you're like, shit. And so I will say I was more cognizant of that. And it's something I now work with clients all the time. Like literally will bring up to them like, yeah, your energy to this situation is half the problem. And you build that up and all of a sudden the issue goes away. It's purely inside out energy,
right.
Right. And I credit him for that because I literally was like, man, because I could see it. When you're an individual that, I don't believe in self-made, but I do think that there's a level of like, I just get shit done because I have to.
Yeah.
But then you start looking, I'm like, oh, but I do have this guy that I pull from and that guy. You know what I mean? You're like, then you realize, oh, I should probably step up my game on allowing other people to pull from me. So yeah. I would say Hollingshead, if I was going to list one, would be it. That was awesome. I mean, I learned a ton from everybody. His was more stuff I could directly alter with myself, which I thought was cool.
Right. And notice how none of it's about training or nutrition because none of the guests we've had on have had any secrets regarding training or nutrition at all.
Minus the Lion King. I had no idea that JP listened to the Lion King.
Yeah. JP's music is the key. Yeah. No. Yeah. I mean, that's one of my favorite things when we have a guest on and it gets like way away from the gym.
Yeah.
And you can't force everyone to want to go there, because I mean, I know what it's like to be a guest on a podcast too. And, sometimes like I've gone on podcasts where I was prepared to tell them anything they wanted to know. And all the questions were just like,
how do you cook your chicken?
Yeah. What's your favorite incline movement? Where do you put your hands on the bar? And after the interview, I was like, oh, the people watching that interview know absolutely nothing about Ron Partlow.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I've been through a few of those. Not everyone, like just a few. And I'm I can't even remember which ones. But
no, they're gone now, probably.
Yeah, some of those happen. Those happen. So I guess my nightmare is to do that type of interview. I don't ever mean to do that with anyone. You know what I mean?
But I think you nailed it, though. It's where the guest takes it and how they expand on a question, because all you can do is ask a question and then get out of the way. I've tried, and I know you do really well at it now too, is ask the question, and I try my best, other than to keep them moving, to just shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Let them run with it, and if they don't, then I do try to get a little more out, and then I might realize, like, oh, that's not him. Okay, fine. Yeah. Next question.
If I had to say, is there an episode that you're most proud of that we've done?
Even that's, it's funny. Like, I mean, our guests have been so good, and this isn't like it would be difficult to choose one.
Yeah.
Because I literally have we've had some episodes like if I were to name 4, you'd say another one. Like, oh fuck yeah, that one, where I've really walked away and been like, that was really good. Remember there was a couple where I literally told you, I was like, man, that one was on, like, to the point where if it wasn't me and I'm so lazy, I would actually probably listen to it again. Because it's like, oh, I learned a shit ton from that person. Like, I knew as soon as we were done with JP, I wanted him back.
Yeah.
I wanted Hollingshead back. Like, we're looking at the clock. I'm like, fuck, it's been 2 hours. We have to let them go. Jesus. Yeah.
So
what would you say? What would be the one that you'd be the most proud of?
I think I'm the most proud. I think I'm the most proud of the Cutler interview.
Okay. Why is that?
Yeah. I don't know. I think I was just excited to have him on. Like Jay commented when we started the show, we hadn't even done an episode yet. Do you remember? And he commented, when am I on, bro?
Yeah.
And I thought, oh, we're going to get him on right away. And it just took so long to line him up that I was like, fuck, we look dumb for not having him on. And then all of a sudden he messaged me. He's like, hey, when am I on your show? And I was like, well, fuck, it's been a year.
Yeah. So I remember, because wasn't he like the year episode or right?
It was like almost a 1 year episode or something. And then, so we had him on, but it just went really well. And also it was like a nice reminder, like, everyone has their level.
Mm-hmm.
So, if Jay's going to come on our show, I want to be ultra respectful with his time.
Right.
You know what I mean? And he was like, oh no, I got lots of time. Let's keep going. Like that sort of thing. Like to know that he had a good time on the show was important. And I think everyone feels like that when they have a guest like Jay on. Like, I mean, it's, you don't want to fuck that one up.
For sure. Remember when Fuad had the incident where it didn't record or whatever? He was
like corrupted the file, and he couldn't transfer the file or something. I felt so fucking bad for him. I was like, oh my God, you get 2 hours of Jay's time.
Yeah, and then Jay did it again because obviously it was that good.
Yeah,
they
had to wait a while.
What's funny is that's kind of back to that question about how do you do YouTube personality. I think that Fuad is phenomenal at interviewing. I feel like he's got a plan. I literally, if I do have 10, 15 minutes to listen to a podcast, I don't really watch the Bible and Bollock stuff because it's just entertainment, but I do like his other ones. I think he's awesome. And I'm blown away when people don't think that. I'm like, really? What is he supposed to fucking do? Because remember, when we interviewed Chad, that's when I realized it. Someone was like, oh, thank God, someone else interviewed him besides Fuad. And I'm like, are you serious? I think he's fucking amazing at this. I kind of look at him in the industry as like the bar.
Yeah, he's really good at it. He's really good at it. He takes his time and he takes risks with some of his guests too, which is good, because that's like what Rogan said. Like, Rogan got to Rogan never thought anyone was ever going to watch a stupid fucking show, right? So he's having like Tom Green on and like whoever the fuck he wanted to have on, right? So you can't let, and then you see Fuad get real comfortable with his guests when he start taking chances and having like, some exercise physiologist that no one really knows except for like the super nerds.
Yeah, and then he cranked,
and it's a great episode,
Yep.
So yeah, I got a good one here.
Shoot.
What is something we do today that future generations will look back on with shock and disbelief? There's lots of stuff. How far into the future?
It's funny because this will make you laugh, but it also depends on where your mindset is when you answer this question. Because here's what I'm going to answer. It's going to blow your mind specifically, but in general, a lot of people's. I hope that what we do right now that they look back at disbelief on is trading in relationships and marriages like they're nothing all the time. Right. And I say that as someone who's been married twice. So don't, not throwing a rock from a glass house here, but I am amazed. And I feel like our industry kind of magnifies that. It's something that's kind of bothered me recently. So I'm hopeful that is something. And I know that's not where the question was supposed to go, but it's literally the first thing that came to my mind. Because I think of how acceptable everything is now. Even we joke about it. I joke about it even with myself. And it's like, that's not really fucking funny.
Yeah. Yeah. The degradation of the willingness to fix relationships because you're only as loyal as your options.
Yeah. Well, and that goes with all relationships.
100-fold.
Yeah. That's everyone's with friendships. Yeah. That's with everything. And I used to joke about that, like more openly. And now when I see it, sometimes I'm like, Jesus, really? Yeah. And again, same thing with friendships, same thing with a big hit for me recently that some people will not understand is the weight belts, Cardillo weight belts. Steve has been in the industry and had everyone's back. Literally, a lot of us have never paid for a belt in our lives, or we have, but he's always taken care of it. And I understand industries change and other people can make belts, but I am surprised how many people he has taken care of that are just pimping the next thing. And I'm always like, really?
Right.
Because to me, it matters. He's never paid me $1. He's never asked me for a post. I've gotten a hit. Hey, what's your address right now? And then something shows up in the mail. But that's kind of those relationship things is a disappointing portion of life to me right now. And I hope, and I'm actually talking to enough people that it seems like I'm not the only one seeing it. So yeah, I know that that's not the point of the question, but that would be what I would hope. I would hope that, 2 generations now, they look back and go, man, they were fucking that up for a while.
The loyalty
that shit back. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So
okay, interesting. I guess I was thinking more like
where it was meant to be.
Oh, is that? Yeah.
You're thinking the way the question was asked. I took it way left.
I mean, I think in 100 years they'll be like, wow, they used to burn oil for fuel. Stuff like that.
Wait a minute. Or hey, they stopped using it because they got some idiot president.
Right.
Oh, my bad.
Well, by that point, I think we'll hopefully on to some sort of other sort of energy. I mean, like Elon Musk talking about nuclear fusion, not like
relying.
He was saying how he still thinks it's possible that we'll have, completely clean, like infinite energy from nuclear sources at some point. It's possible.
Right.
It's pretty crazy. But anyways, the fossil fuel stuff, I guess. And then I think that we're going to come to a point where we're not going to be eating meat anymore. I think that meat-based agriculture is going to come to an end in the next, 50 to 100 years. And I think synthetic laboratory-produced meat is going to be a huge thing that is used in a lot of areas of the world. Mm-hmm. And I mean, I've read I've read interviews and listened to podcasts of people who've tried it already. Like they went to a lab and they ate like synthetic meat. And just the texture was different, but it's essentially like Sam Harris was talking about how he went to a lab and he ate some beef.
Right.
And it just looked like a brick of Spam, but it was beef. It's beef protein. It's 100% beef cells, muscle cells.
I mean, that would be nice because I'd find a way to handle the things that we don't like about how beef is essentially produced.
Right. And essentially it is beef.
Right.
Like it is beef. It's not fake beef. It is real beef muscle tissue.
Right.
Like it just hasn't walked and flexed and pumped and processed, and like how they feed beer to certain cows in Japan and fatten them up and they massage them and they get the Kobe beef. Yeah. So you don't get the beer and you don't get the massage and you don't get the same meat, but it's beef. Yeah. And if you want to grind it up and cook ground beef, it's fucking ground beef. And I I'm sure will solve all the palate and flavor issues. That's not a problem. They can flavor anything, make anything taste good now.
They've done it this far. Like
they can make a veggie burger taste good. They can make fake beef taste like beef.
Yeah, which is funny because you just said again, because it's fake. Also not fake beef.
It's not fake beef. Yeah. So I think that synthetic meat is going to be a huge thing. Just think of feeding
a meat that never had a mother.
Well, just think of it this way. To grow enough food, like plant food, fields of wheat and fields of all this, like agriculturally grow enough food to feed the world, even with greenhouses where you're cranking out like hydroponic crops faster.
Yeah.
You still need so much space and so much water and so much light and so many acres and all that stuff.
Right.
But they're saying synthetic meat could be produced in laboratories pretty quickly.
Right.
Like think of how long it takes to grow a cow. It's way faster than that.
Right. That's funny too, because you don't even think about that because they're constantly building the next cow for you to eat. And also, I actually completely understand the vegans and the vegetarians who look at the conditions and can't get past it. Yeah. Because I think we all have lines of how we do that. Like when I think of things that are done to dogs in any negative way, I'm not going to go into depth with that means. The amount of violence that comes out of me and anger is unbelievable. So I understand that from any animal.
Yeah.
I have no issue eating a cow, but I can tell you, and this is funny, but I have no interest in going hunting. And I have nothing against it. Obviously, my neighbor goes out hunting, brings home meat. I'm like, fuck yeah, hook it up. I don't want to be responsible for something ever having its last breath because I have a connection. Like that's an animal. I don't know. I just can't do it, Right, but then point is there's lines. I'd go fishing, think nothing of it.
Right.
So I do see where people come from, and I would have no issue if you're like, oh, well, now you can have the same thing you need, and it comes from a lab. I'm like, oh, sweet, cool. We don't have to do that shit anymore. I'm in.
Right. Yeah, it's interesting. It also think of like storage and due dates. I mean, maybe they can engineer all that stuff so it's even longer and better.
Oh, sure. And hopefully they can do it without the sides, because that's always been my issue. For example, with milk, I used to get raw milk from the farm. You'd go down, you'd buy it, and they made it where you can't do that here anymore. And it, truthfully, without getting a crazy depth, but if people do some research, I have personally believed that if you want really, really healthy milk, it's raw milk. It's not pasteurized. It's not all the things that the government, once again, is doing to protect me. What fucks it up?
Right.
The quality of it. So, now I actually have to watch my dairy and, what I bring in because it affects my allergies, where it never did if it wasn't processed to fuck.
Right.
So yeah, that'd be interesting for sure. There'll be so many things because like you said earlier, like back then they're thinking, what else would we possibly patent?
Yeah.
Like, how could there be more than this? So I'm sure if you go for the 100 years, they're gonna laugh at half of the shit we're doing.
Yeah.
And even when I look at Teslas and all these non-gas running cars, I'm like, how does it do that? That speed, that this, that without gas?
The batteries are just gonna keep getting smaller too.
Oh, of course.
Like, yeah.
Think of the first cell phone, buddy.
Oh man, that 80s guy driving that Mercedes driving, rich asshole with a big brick.
Yeah,
with a giant, plugged into his cigarette lighter. He's like, yeah, sell, like.
Yeah, he's a joke now.
Every 80s movie villain.
Exactly. Because he was the only one that had the money for that kind of luxury. Actually, I have a good one here and you might not even know about this yet. Thoughts on JP's update?
Oh, what was his update? Last update I saw was that he was doing some crazy deadlifts after pulling his hamstring.
So here it is. Here's the deal, and it's funny because I actually I saw this coming. JP has decided he's done gassing up.
Okay.
He's down to TRT. He's going to show what you can build that way on 200 milligrams, and he even said if he's going to go on a vacation or something, he might bump a little something in just for fun. But basically, he's done chasing size and taking the drugs and everything else, and he wants a more healthy lifestyle. What put him over the edge was Andy Hammond. And even though we all know it was a complication, I think all of us have been seeing enough death and enough issues that eventually you kind of wake up and go,
yeah,
I've been playing this game a long time and I'm still here. Maybe I should cash out now, Right. And I saw it coming anyways, because this, a lot of people don't. I have not been under 270 pounds, I don't know, 7 years.
Right.
Like even in contest shape, I haven't been under 270.
Yeah.
Those.
Dusty just froze. Dusty just froze. Okay.
Those of you who have.
There we go. Dusty, you froze up pretty bad for a little bit.
Yeah, I paused when I was saying that so we can hopefully. But basically, the rundown is he's going to be running low dose. He's going to run everything the same as far as his training, things like that, show his physique. And I dig it. I think it's a great move because he's been there, done that.
He also, let's be honest here. He also didn't fuck around with doses. Like he already kind of proved his point.
Yeah.
It's not like he had room to like bump it up more to see how it went. Like hadn't he already done like the 4,000 milligram cycle and stuff? I don't want to put numbers out there. But
I don't know the numbers.
He openly said some numbers, didn't he? 3,500 or something. I might be wrong. You guys correct me.
I never saw that, but I do. Here's what I know without even getting into that. He pushed the limit as far as he could.
Yeah.
In every way, the training way, the food way.
Yeah,
in ways
and that might have just been a few cycles too. I'm not saying that's what he always did, because I know that it's always trying to get the most out of the least with JP as well.
Yeah, no, I think when I say that, what I mean is he did what he could do, and I think he just realized. And the reason I said I saw it coming was he started referencing looking forward to coming down. I don't think most people who follow JP have any idea how big he is.
No.
JP is drastically bigger than me. It's insane.
JP is one of the guys. JP is one of the guys where at the expo he looks funny.
Yeah, at the expo with a bunch of meatheads that are all freaks.
You're looking and you're like, oh yeah, pro bodybuilder, power lifter, strongman, giant people, and then you see JP and you're like, oh, that guy looks like crazy. And he's completely covered in his shirt.
Yeah.
And you're like, what's wrong with that guy? Like, he's just so fucking thick.
Yeah, I mean, because what is he, 5'7", 5'6", something like that?
Yeah, like, and 300 plus.
Yeah, 300 plus all the time. I mean, he's just a massive human. And the reason I bring that up is because I've been telling people that for the last few years, I purposely just relaxed and stayed 90 to 85. So I feel comfortable. He hasn't relaxed ever.
Oh, no.
He's pushing up or down or whatever. And it gets confused because like, oh, I see you train. I'm like, no, I train hard because I love it. But I'm not pushing food. And the food is the hard thing. Taking a shot is no big deal, but the food sucks. Feet sore, can't walk, out of breath. I haven't felt that in years, dude. And when he said that, it didn't shock me at all. He's been talking about looking forward to moving on. And I think that this just gave him the reason. Because when you start talking about that, you're already halfway out.
Yeah, for sure.
Which is, that's not even that's not a shot. What does he need to do it for? There's nothing left to prove. Like, I really respect the guys and that keep a physique because they choose to, but literally are like, I don't, like Dorian. I've been a monster. What do I have to prove?
Yeah.
When I'm done and shrunk down, because people will, you're never going to be that small. I'm like, no, I do. I fucking do. I have no, this is not my identity at all. I love doing it. I did it. I checked the box. When I'm done, as small as I can get, as fast as I can get. That'll be the goal.
Right.
So yeah, I'm actually looking forward to it. It's funny. So he hinted to it this morning. I was up in the middle of the night, shocking. And he said, something about, my announcement or on my forum, but I'm not going to go into it here. So I had to go log on. I became a member of his site years ago because a friend of mine, and I don't actually go on there. but I just support friends. If they do things, I'll buy. So I went on to go read it this morning. I was like, oh. And I assumed that's what it was, but it was cool to read it. And I think it's going to give guys a great insight onto what you can do when you're done and how much you can still carry through training, food. And don't get me wrong, there's remnants. I'm not saying you could ever get to where he's going to be in a year without doing what he already did.
Right.
But what he can hold afterwards. So it's pretty cool, you know?
Well, that's what I've been going through the last few years. I know exactly what's going to happen with JP. Probably very similar thing. Well, you know.
You think he's going to buy a bike?
Yeah, he's going to buy a bike. No, but he's armed with all that knowledge of nutrition and metabolism, and he knows his body like a clock and all that sort of stuff. So he'll just steer his physique into whatever direction he wants to. Like, I was really nervous about like, oh, what am I going to look like? But then after a little while, I realized I'm like, oh, I'm still in control of my food and my training. So that's like that's why I'm still looking the way I look, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And then you just realize that, oh yeah, like I don't have a normal person's body. I have a body that's the metabolism has been trained and primed for so many years that it's just like, you know, an efficient machine. And I can have days where I'm high fat, days where I'm high carb, days where I'm low carb, and I just feel normal on all of them.
Right.
And I'm metabolically flexible. I saw an interview with a guy talking about metabolic flexibility and how like most people don't have any because they just eat such a shit diet all the time. Right.
Right.
And they don't exercise. So they, you know, the default level for most people is no flexibility at all. Like if they fast for a day, they don't even go into ketosis.
Right.
You know, they just feel like garbage and get hungry and have blood sugar problems.
Yeah, they're just angry.
But if like someone who's really fit and works out fasts for a day, like my girlfriend, Emily, she fasted the other day. She's been doing the odd 24-hour fast. She gets like, she has all the trademarks that he listed of metabolic flexibility. Mm-hmm. She actually gets more energetic, almost like she's on like a stimulant.
Right.
Almost gets like mentally overactive.
Right.
And it's the body is like already running on ketones, you know, halfway through the first day of fasting because she's, you know, metabolically efficient and flexible. And so anyways, this guy had a lot of cool stuff. I don't know how much of it was true, but it was, if you do a 24-hour fast, noticing what your body does tells you a lot about your metabolism. Like, does it drop into fat burning quickly, or do you suffer all day because you don't have sugar?
Right.
You know, there's a bunch of that. And so he was kind of interesting. But anyways, that's a sidebar. But he's going to find out that he can do whatever he wants with that physique, with all that muscle tissue.
Yeah. I'm excited. I think he knows what's going to happen. But I think it's cool that he's bringing everyone along for the ride. So they'll see, you know.
I'm excited to see. Plus, like, I'm still training super, super hard. And I'm still, you know, eating lots of bodybuilding food.
Which he will do.
But I'm trying to be lean.
Right.
Whereas I know JP will have more specific goals. Like he will be tracking strength, mapping out body comp, charting and graphing everything.
Just pull the drugs. Everything else stays the same.
So I'm assuming JP will have even better results than I have. Like he'll probably stay bigger, stronger, and get more ripped because everything's like, you know, he's treating it the same.
Well, you need to go to his page anyways because he and Corinne are almost finished building their super gym.
Oh, gotta have a look.
They haven't mentioned, which means you got some traveling to do, son.
Yeah, I'd love to. Hey, I got one for you here. Since we're kind of talking about food, this is a friend of mine, Mike. He says, how much consideration to appetite when you're pushing food for size? So this is a big dude. He's like in the 290s right now, trying to hit 300. And I assume by the question that he's running into those first time hitting 300 blues, where you start to be like, I'm so full of food all the time, I can't even eat.
So this is tricky. I lightly consider appetite always, and the reason I say lightly is I have both sides of that scenario. I have a client, AJ, who I tease him all the time. His appetite never ends. So he's like, I'm hungry. I'm like, I don't give a fuck. You're fat.
Right.
Like, even when we're growing, and usually I'd be like, oh, you got room for food? Fucking eat more. Him, I'm like, I realized I couldn't satiate this kid to save my fucking life. He'll be 400 pounds. So I'm like, well, you're going to be hungry for the rest of your life.
Right.
If you want to control your physique. You know what I mean? Most people, to be honest with you, I don't give any consideration to that. I give consideration to inflammation and digestion, and that's it.
So maybe this is more of a lack of appetite question then.
Yeah, if that's the question, then you just fucking eat. But you do want to verify why, because sometimes I've found, and we've been over this, so I don't want to go into too much depth, but obviously we know that movement helps. So walking before meals is key, things like that, to just,
or after meals even.
You know, yeah, to get the body moving or to get rid of it. But to answer the question, you eat more because you have to.
I think something that too many people are stubborn on, and this is my personal opinion, is the whole solid food versus liquid food thing. I understand. So my whole basis about using shakes, I have no problem with shakes. Whey protein isolate, especially, is extremely high quality.
Right.
It's some of the highest quality amino acids you can put in your body. Right. There's nothing wrong with it. However, it's really fast in and out. So the consideration with shakes is I tell my clients to never have shakes twice in a row. Right. Because then you create gaps with no protein in the blood. Whereas if you have, 10 ounces of steak, and then your next meal is whey isolate, and then your next meal is 10 ounces of chicken, you're fine.
Right.
You've got aminos in your body the whole time. But I get when you're dieting and you're starving, ditch the shakes because you get more solid food. There's more metabolic action with digesting the food, yada, yada, yada. But when we're talking about off-season bodybuilders, there's only so much physical food you can stuff into your system. Like, we have to realize that, once you get to 10 cups of rice a day and 3 pounds of meat, you're supposed to keep, how much food can you stuff into your digestive tract?
True.
And have it go. So there is going to be a ceiling somewhere for everyone. Some people can eat more food than others, digest more. Maybe you can use more enzymes. Maybe there's things you can do to optimize digestion, minimize inflammation, all that stuff. But at the end of the day, eating food is inflammatory.
Right.
And stuffing yourself so your digestive tract is literally full from top to bottom all the time. There's going to be an end to that where you just can't put more food in. So, well, bro, I guess, just add 3 more cups of rice doesn't always cut it. And when you're at the point where your food volume is topped out, you have to go to liquid calories. There's absolutely nothing wrong with it. At that point, you're just topped up. You just got to get them in.
No, I agree 100%. I think that has actually been a mistake in my coaching before because I do prefer whole foods.
Right.
But when someone asks, usually what I'll let determine that, and I know I'm not actually being seen right now other than plugging my MacBook in, is you got to get the calories in somehow.
Yeah.
And those are the easiest ways to get them in. Dante I grew up and gained on doing shakes with olive oil 3 times a day.
Yeah.
I just didn't have the appetite, and that was just an easy thing. And I was super busy back then. When I had the stores, I was in them. So it was also time management because I'm a slow eater. Even if I love the food, I eat slow. I didn't have 30 minutes to eat a meal because if I was busy, that was an hour and a half.
So let's give them one more tip here. What would you do if you're almost at your goal, but your appetite has gone to complete shit?
The things that we already mentioned, number one, which is, a little more movement. I do find there's a line where bringing in movement, I'm not going to use the word cardio, movement elevates much more than the calories you burn. You're able to eat more. And the other is just that find foods that work with you. And my last touch is a lot of times in the off season, when we're pushing for a goal, we accidentally start bringing in more shit and don't realize that that's half the reason we can't eat. If I eat a giant bullshit meal, my next meal is always a bitch to eat. Because
if I eat a giant bullshit meal, my next meal is whey isolate blended in water.
Yeah. Oh, that's it. That's it. Because your body is...
Get back on track.
Yeah, it's not used to all the shit it's trying to break through.
Yeah.
Clean up your food is step one. And I know it's a tricky line because people are like, but they're less dense in calories. I'm like, pour olive oil all over your chicken while you're cooking it. or whatever. Like, get the calories. I'm not saying to eat dried chicken breast and plain white rice. Yeah. I'm just saying that the food that your body's more accustomed to breaking down is going to make sure you're ready for your next meal faster. And like you said, the shakes thing is huge. I used to just also live and die on, I found it's kind of like a movie. If popcorn is sitting on my lap, I will empty it no matter how big it is. It will disappear. So I used to bring like nuts to my store and keep them on my counter. And I would just eat them like all fucking day somehow, like a handful here and there.
Yeah.
Well, I'd end up adding like 5 ounces of nuts to a day.
Yeah, several hundred calories.
Yeah, so basic shit like that. What about you? Anything last I missed?
I just think liquid calories are where you go. You got to start drinking some carbs and some protein. And your protein probably doesn't even have to come up because you're probably already eating enough protein. So you have to get some carbs and fats in. But liquid calories you can go to. Swap some meals over to shakes so that you can make them even bigger and get your calories up more. Just a thought.
Every time you say thought, I think of something else.
That hoe over there. I remember when I found out what thought meant, I was kind of disappointed. I was like, oh, I thought it was going to be funnier.
Yeah, that's not that funny. Anyways. And I know her.
So here's one. Here. Oh, is it your turn? It's your turn.
No, but you already have one. Go.
Okay. What are some of your favorite old school action movies?
How old is old school?
I don't know. I'm probably going to wind up going 80s on most of mine for old school.
Give me an answer so I can start priming my brain.
Well, I mean, I grew up on the Arnold shit, so I'm watching Commando and fucking Running Man and, you know, all the Arnold classics.
See, I was a Van Damme guy.
Yeah, see, the Van Damme movies were big too, but I wasn't as much into him. Bloodsport and Kickboxer and Time Cop was okay, and then I kind of tuned out.
Yeah, see, I liked those. And I don't even know if I'd call them action because they were more like fighting and you know what I mean? But like, right. I like Double Impact. I mean, there were 2 of them. I mean, come on now, 2 Van Dammes.
Yes. Was that the hockey one?
No, that was like they were twins, but the one was like the slick back hair with the cigar. The other was like the pretty boy from California.
Which one was the one where he was a hockey goalie?
Fuck, I didn't even know that one, dude. I didn't even know that one existed. So you got
at the end. He's dressed in the hockey goalie outfit. Yeah. I don't know.
Jesus, he had some bad moments in his career. Huh?
That was near the end.
That was near the end. He's like, I just need a couple more million to tie up this life of mine here.
Have you seen his show? I haven't checked his show out, but I've had some friends recommend it. They say they love it.
No way.
He has a show on Amazon Prime where he plays himself. Oh, I don't want to fuck up the premise. I think it's a comedy series. But he plays himself. Yeah, I got to find it here. I got to look it up. And fuck, I'm on Wikipedia. I don't know if that's going to help. I don't want to fuck it up. It's got his name in the title. He's done a few things that were really fucking. Double Impact.
See, there
Double Team.
Jesus, sounds like a hell of a porn.
Yeah. Where he plays himself, but he wasn't actually a movie star. That was his cover. He was actually an agent the whole time. Right? And now he's old. And I think that's the premise. You know what I mean? And so it's like makes fun of his, you know, everything you did. I can't remember what it's called.
I love thinking about the last movies, though. It reminded me, I watched an interview the other day, or it was a question. They were interviewing Dana White, and they asked him, they said, what do you think about your friend Oscar De La Hoya coming out of retirement? He literally, without breaking speed, goes, cocaine's a hell of a drug. It's expensive or something like
that.
Very
expensive.
It's an expensive drug. You got to make money. I fucking died. I'm like, did he just say that?
Yeah. So that was crazy. He was savage. So it's called Jean-Claude Van Johnson. And here's the premise. It's got good ratings. Van Damme is a name that is synonymous with action movies, but what if he was actually a secret agent and his entire film career was intended to be a front for Black Ops missions?
Dude, that actually, they've got my interest. They
kind of got my attention. You know what I mean? So,
now if only I actually could follow through on watching television.
You know who we have to ask if that's any good? David Bale, no?
Obviously.
He had to have watched it.
I'd be kind of get him on, but you know what sucks? He works a real job.
What does he do? I thought he was just
idea.
A meme master.
Yeah, he does his memeing so well. I just assumed he was at home like me.
It's a real job. He probably is surprised. Some kind of surprising job.
Oh yeah, I'm sure he's an astrophysicist or something. But I literally he goes, yeah, I get off at 5. I'm like, well, what?
I'm a hedge fund manager.
Literally, that wouldn't shock me. So yeah, I was like, oh, I don't know how to handle someone with a schedule. I don't know what to say right now.
Yeah. I'd love to have him on. I tagged him in a photo the other day just because it made me laugh.
Oh, dude,
it was
one of my favorite people in the
industry. Do you follow Your Dad's America?
No.
It's one of my favorite accounts. They just put up like pictures from the 80s and 70s basically that are like cool, like Your Dad's America. It'd be like a dude with a beer and some hot chick like leaning on him with backcomb bangs. And he's like, or it'd be some dude in the back of a pickup truck, back in the day when you used to ride in the back of the truck and it wasn't illegal.
It was fine.
Like cruising down the highway and there's a dude like drinking a beer in the back of a pickup and it's Your Dad's America.
All right, I got time for one more because I actually have like 5 appointments today. Believe it or not, that's my fucking
Can't
life.
Possibly have people that want to talk to you besides me, Dusty.
I didn't say they want. I'm paying them. It's totally different.
Okay. So you pick.
Oh fuck. Oh boy, I'll get to that in a minute. Okay, how'd you like? What do you think?
I'm gonna have a lot left for my.
All right, I'm doing a real. Dude, I'm frightened. I have to answer all of these at some point today. Okay, this is simple, but I'm gonna do it just because I want to end up on a strong note. What do you think about the Blood and Guts training program?
I think that it's foundationally sound, covers a huge amount of shit that you have to pound into your head and focus on, teaches you how to train with really high intensity if you understand what you're supposed to be doing.
Key.
So assuming that people are doing the Blood and Guts program, they're not just reading it and going, 2 sets, 1 set,
Right.
Priming and getting ready for those sets and then treating each one of those sets like a big, huge event. That's what I always said to people. Like,
right.
Those aren't just sets; those are events.
Like, that's a great statement. Yeah.
Like once a week, that happens. That set right there.
Right.
It's not just a set. It's like a set that that was my mentality the whole time I did that. Was like, there might be 2 sets of incline press. I would think about them all week.
Yeah.
They weren't just sets where I could just be, I got some incline to do. I'd be like, fuck, like those are coming. It's like job interviews.
Right.
Or fucking do or die moments where you have to like pull something off. Like
you also have to have your taxes done by April 15th.
Yeah. Like there's like that set is coming for you. And it's there all week long. You better be there all week long too, thinking about it. Like right. That's what I used to think, right? You don't just think about it that afternoon on your way to the gym. Oh yeah, I got hacks today.
You know what's funny? You said
that's not how any of that got done for me. That's not how any of that got done for me.
I don't think that's seen as. I mean, here maybe it never was, but I know it's not seen very much now. So yesterday, this is funny, but a kid I'm training is in the gym training. And I look over and he's getting into a set and it's starting to get tough. So by reaction, his training partner is behind him on the leg press. And he's starting to grind. So I just walked over and like took over and started pushing. Right. And he gets done. And I literally didn't say anything. I'm like, good set, walked away, and he just stayed in his fucking zone. I don't even think he knew I knew who he was because we just started. But he gets done with the workout and he comes over real quick, introduces himself. And he's like, so when you write the workouts, I got 3 sets of this. I'm like, yeah, I got to change your workout. You train way harder than most people. Like I realized because I thought it was his final set. It was his second. And I write on all of them. Only the last set is the absolute failure. And I realized he doesn't even know what that means.
Right.
Because he was pushing way too hard on his second working set, and I told him, I'm like, no, I want you to hit 20 because you did. But on your last set, I want 17 to be possible, and then I want you to find 20. But I just realized I'm like, this kid's fucking geared different. Like, I don't think he knows how to do that. So I'm gonna have to change his entire fucking training after watching him do one set. I'm like, oh, that was your second set? Okay, you're insane. You're gonna love this sport.
Yeah. Oh, that's cool. And you need a new training partner.
Yeah, yeah. And he should learn how to spot. Yeah. It was hard enough that I was like, I don't want him to mess with me standing here. Like, holy shit. Like, I would have done that if I didn't know him. I just saw the grind. I'm like, oh, this kid's going to work here. Okay.
Right.
But then when I found out, oh, that was the second set, I'm like, all right, you're fucked in the head. This is gonna be fun.
That's good. That's good. Yeah, I would say that the Dorian, blood and guts way of training, it's it's
made for that kid though.
Yeah. So for people who really, really know how to train hard, not know how, want to train hard, want to learn how to train hard, want to learn how to find those key sets and make them count, I think it's a fantastic default to start.
For sure.
You can tweak it all sorts of ways, but I think just the repetition, 2 on 1 off, 2 on 1 off, 2 on 1 off, endless, you get in the groove. You do workout A, workout B, where you alternate your starting movement, like I'd be hack squatting 1 week, leg pressing the next, hack squatting 1 week, leg pressing the next, or whatever you're doing for body parts. It's a great way to train. It's a foundation of everything I still do.
Yep, me too.
I might do a lot more volume now and not go to as deep a failure with the heavy weights and stuff, but it's still like the principles are all there.
For sure. Agreed. Well, boss, I gotta get cracking. Actually, I'm disappointed because I have really good questions. I'm gonna even though I'm gonna answer these, I'm gonna save some of them for next week because I think your tweak on them is always good.
I feel bad because I got like tons of good ones, and then I even had some in my DMs and we didn't get to any of them. So I'm gonna have to do so many on my stories.
Good. Well, I'll watch them then, but no, save a couple. If there's some that are really good, save them because that's what I'm gonna do. I literally just scan through. I was like, fuck, I need like 2 more hours to get these in.
Okay. We'll do that. Thanks, buddy. I'll send you a shirt. Send me your address right now.
Yes, I'll text you.
Okay, thanks. Remember, everybody, like, share, subscribe, comment, ring the bell. It's just bodybuilding.